Celebrimbor, a significant person in Middle history, was first presented to audiences in episodes 1 and 2 of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. J.R.R. Tolkien's epic narrative was brought to life on the big screen with Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy. The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, a new Amazon TV series, acts as a prequel not to the movies, but rather to the Tolkien literature. The late Christopher Tolkien, who chaired the estate until 2017, disapproved of Jackson's The Lord of the Rings and voiced his concerns about them being too marketed. However, the estate has subsequently been considerably more supportive of The Rings of Power. Based on Tolkien's appendices and notes, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power is set in the Second Age of Middle-earth. In contrast to inventing Middle-earth, Tolkien advocated its excavation. Co-creator J.D. Payne stated in an interview that they felt like they were discovering things that were previously there. People have seen montages and flashes about it, but there are enormous undiscovered stories. Thus, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power will combine well-known ideas with unexpected turns, and a well-established mythology with unanticipated characters. While most people in the Middle Second Earth's Age believed that evil had been vanquished, Sauron was actually only waiting his turn. Celebrimbor, a master smith who will have a greater impact on Middle-earth than he could have ever imagined, is introduced to viewers in the first 2 episodes. All of this is made possible via Celebrimbor. Numerous notes and appendices by Tolkien contain references to Celebrimbor, despite the fact that there is contradictory information about him. He is believed to have participated in First Age combat on the front lines, and unlike many of his relatives, he decided to stay in Middle-earth following the fall of Gondolin and Morgoth's ultimate defeat. According to Tolkien's notes, in the Second Age, Celebrimbor settled in the realm of Eregion and sought an unusual friendship with the dwarves, drawing upon their skills as forgers. As seen in The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, Celebrimbor became celebrated as one of the elves' greatest smiths, and he was assigned projects by the king himself. This led him to the dwarven mines of Moria, with viewers finally given a chance to see the city in its heyday rather than after its fall, as in Peter Jackson's films. Gamers will be more accustomed to the name Celebrimbor than casual viewers, who might not. In the video games Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor and Middle-earth, Shadow of War, Celebrimbor is depicted as having a profound sense of remorse for creating the Rings of Power. It's probably better to disregard them for the time being because the Celebrimbor depicted in these games had a tale that differed significantly from the one in Tolkien's notes. Elrond visits Celebrimbor's workshop in The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, which contains several artifacts, including Finr's hammer. But Celebrimbor, though, intends to surpass this by building a tower that includes a forge for smithing. Due to the creation of the Rings of Power in this furnace, it will become one of the most significant places in The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. The 3 elven rings will be forged by Celebrimbor himself, who is oblivious of the binding power Sauron has infused them with. She is correct. Despite Sauron's historical influence over humans, he will inevitably try to manipulate elves in order to further his goals. Operating under the alias of Anatar, the Lord of Gifts, he will travel to Celebrimbor's forge and befriend the smiths there. Although some elves are suspicious, including Celebrimbor himself, they will nonetheless be tricked into making the Rings of Power. 19 rings will be made, 3 for the elves, 7 for the dwarves, and 9 for the humans. Although most of the Rings of Power will be made at Celebrimbor's forge, the 1 ring will be made by Sauron in secret. Fortunately for the writers and showrunners, only the broad brushstrokes of his story are known, affording them room to maneuver as they bring Celebrimbor's story to life. It is surely in the details that viewers will find their surprises. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to comment, subscribe, and give us a like.